On Thursday, February 11, 2021, Lyles Station Historic School and Museum recognizes Dr. Percy Lavon Julian, the grandson of slaves who pursued his education despite prejudice and discrimination in order to establish himself as a trailblazing chemist, successful industrial research director, and wealthy businessman. Born in 1899 in Montgomery, Alabama, Julian grew up in a home that valued education, much like that of the families at Lyles Station. Both his parents were educated, which was not common for African Americans in the South in the 1800s. Julian attended a segregated elementary school where he performed well academically, but the normal school he had to attend instead of high school inadequately prepared him for college. Montgomery didn't have a public high school for African Americans then, and he couldn't attend school with the white students. However, at the young age of 17, with the equivalent of a 10th grade education, DePaul University in Indiana accepted him as a sub-freshman. While he was enrolled in his regular college classes, he also had to take remedial classes at a local high school to catch up to college level. He also was working to pay for his college expenses. Despite all this, he excelled in his college work, earning a bachelor's degree in chemistry and graduating Phi Beta Kappa and first in his class. Even though he experienced racism, Julian recounted how he was initially made to feel welcome at DePaul. As he said, "On my first day in college, I remember walking in and a white fellow stuck out his hand and said, 'How are you? Welcome.' I had never shaken hands with a white boy before and did not know whether I should or not." Julian taught chemistry for a few years after graduation and then went on to continue his graduate work. In 1923, he became the first African American to earn a master's degree in chemistry from Harvard University. Despite his academic success, Harvard still refused him admission to its doctoral program. Julian had been denied the teaching assistantship needed for admission. Julian eventually became the head of the chemistry department at Howard University, an African American institution. Still, he was driven to pursue his PhD, so he did what so many others had done. He left the States to pursue his education in Europe, enrolling at the University of Vienna, where in 1931 he earned a PhD in chemistry, the fourth African American to achieve this distinction. Returning to DePaul to continue his research, he focused on investigating medicinal plants, which led to his development of a drug which could treat glaucoma by reducing pressure inside of the eyeball. Denied positions in academia due to his race, the universities of the day were not ready to have an African American professor instructing white students. He left academia to take a position as lab director at Glidden Company, where his work focusing on soybeans led to many beneficial discoveries. There in 1939, an unexpected event involving soybean oil led to his discovery of a soy sterol that could be used to manufacture progesterone, which was used to treat cancers and assist women in problem pregnancies, helping to prevent miscarriages. Today, progesterone is used to decrease the risk for uterine cancer and in hormone replacement therapy. The military benefited in World War II when he developed a foam based from soy protein that could extinguish oil and gas fires. Those suffering from rheumatoid arthritis can thank Julian for his 1949 development of a synthetic cortisone substitute, a development dramatically less expensive than the cortisone developed by the Mayo Clinic in 1948, which cost hundreds of dollars per drop. Julian's synthetic version cost only pennies per ounce, making this once prohibitively expensive wonder drug affordable to millions of arthritis sufferers. Julian focused on producing medical products that were less expensive for the general public, leading to the development of birth control and medicines which could suppress the immune system, necessary for procedures involving organ transplants. Dr. Julian possessed over 100 chemical patents, wrote more papers on his work than can be mentioned here, and received awards and honorary degrees from many academic institutions. In 1950, Julian was named Chicagoan of the Year for his many contributions to society. Despite all his success and achievements, when he and his family moved to Oak Park, Illinois, a predominantly white, affluent suburb of Chicago, becoming the first African American family to reside there, his house was firebombed not once, but twice. In 1953, Dr. Julian moved on to become an entrepreneur, establishing Julian Laboratories, which produced synthetic steroids. When he sold the company in 1961, he was a millionaire. Julian established himself as a chemical innovator who made medicines more affordable to the general public, and he was recognized as a valued civic and civil rights leader, often speaking for racial justice and full equality for all Americans. He broke the color barrier in industrial science, and his labs gave promising young African American chemists their start in the sciences. The recipient of 18 honorary degrees and multiple civic and scientific awards for his contributions to humanity, he was the second African American elected to the National Academy of Sciences and the first chemist. Following Julian's death from liver cancer in 1975, DePaul University named the Percy L. Julian Science and Mathematics Center in his honor.